Well, hey, good morning, everybody. We got the displays finished and mounted into the back box. I didn't film the cutting of the holes. It's just a matter of cutting 5 holes in here. And it came out good. I'm very satisfied with it. Player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, high score, balls in play, credits. So pleased with that. Actually have, with that little project phase of the project completed, I decided to kind of kick around some of the cabinet wiring. And on the electrical end, one of the beauties of this setup, a Williams playfield connected to Zaccaria circuit boards. One reason I knew this would work and why I chose this particular playfield. Oh, number one, it's an awesome game, playfield. But the voltages for the solenoid coils is very important. Here's the power supply board in here. We're getting ready to connect the power into here from the transformer, which I don't have yet. It's somewhere in Los Angeles, just came out of customs, waiting for that to arrive. That's a key part, because the voltages from that transformer, Zaccaria had some strange voltages on their power supplies. And here it is. We have 7.8 volts on one output, 48 volts here. Now that 48 volts is what powers the solenoids. And one thing about Williams and Zaccaria is the if I can find one now, the voltages on the coils are also 50 volts. Well, I can't find it for you right now on one of these coils, but I know that. Let's see if I can find one. I don't know. Yeah, so these solenoids run off of 50 volts, similar to a Zaccaria. Well, and so with that in mind, your playfield lights are 6 volts on all these games. That's not a problem, because we have that here as well on the Zaccaria. And so that 7.8 volts is converted through the power supply to your 6 volts for your light bulbs. And so and then this or one of these also is converted to power your 5 volts for your logic. And then so you can see we've got some different kind of voltages going on here. And in order for these Zaccaria circuit boards to boot and work, I need the proper input voltage. So I had to actually find a Zaccaria transformer. Bought it out of Australia. It's in the mail, sitting in, just came out of customs in Los Angeles. So right now I'm working on running. The transformer will be mounted down here in the bottom of the cabinet, and the wiring will come up into this input here, this Molex connector here, and then the wires just drop right down went ahead and installed the power cord and also a power switch down here, so that we got up under here the power switch. So yeah, making this happen, starting to kick around the electrical, and I think it's going to be all right. So right now we're just going to do a put together a cable with a Molex connector on one end here to connect into that power supply board, and then run down to the transformer. You know, one problem I am running into is finding wire, you know, that is heavy enough, and you know, I don't want to put a whole lot of money into certain areas of this project. One being, I don't want to go spend $100 on rolls of color wire. Well, you know, I have to keep this project cost effective, and in order to do that, we have to do it this way. So I'm making up a Molex connector. Perhaps maybe you've never done that before. It's not a real difficult task. What it entails is getting the wires in this plug in the correct order, in this connector, and then when we tie them into the transformer, to the right spot on the transformer. Fortunately, the transformer I bought still has part of the wire on it, so I can tell which is white, which is green. So I wrote down the order in which the wires go on the Molex connector, and so we got blue is next. And this is how I decided to do the blue. I know it might seem a little janky, but it's going to work just fine. And the way a connector works, we go ahead and strip back just a little bit of wire, maybe a 1/4 inch, not quite, and you grab your little trifuricon connector. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. And you insert it into your crimper. It's a special crimping tool. They're not expensive. Anybody who works on pinball machines should have one of these. And you insert the wire down in there, like so, and crimp. Boom. Do another one for you. Insert the connector into the crimper. Insert the wire into the connector there. I hope you can see that. And a little squeeze. We know blue is next on line, and we'll go ahead and slip the blue ones in. They just press right in, and they kind of clip into place, and they're held in there. After blue comes yellow. So I went with a little heavier gauge wire than what standard Zaccaria cabinets come with. These connectors tend to heat up a little bit on these Zaccarias, especially at this point here. And the heavier gauge wire, I believe, will make it won't run as hot. And see, it's not a... Insert the terminal in the crimper, insert the wire into the terminal. Boom. So look at there. In just a matter of minutes you can, and I order a lot of this stuff right from Marco Pinball Supplies. They're out of Columbia, South Carolina, I think. They're very fast on their shipping. It just, you know, they get it right the first time. I really like it. I know some people say they're a little pricey, and there are other places and you can get a few deals, but you know, how many people get it right the first time in 2021? I know I certainly don't. And all right, so yeah, there's our connector ready to go onto the machine. The transformer will be mounted down below. So we'll just put these in here. I'm not going to tie wrap this bundle yet, but I will eventually. Now you say, there it is. Beautiful. Nice job. Now there's two terminals right here that I did not connect. That's because it's for the 170 volts that comes off the transformer. I think it's actually 180. Power supply converts it down to 170. We're not using that element. The 170 volts here is to power the displays, the old style. These displays run on 5 volts. So it uses the 5 volt logic voltage, you know, right off the CPU. You know, it's kind of nice to not have to deal with that high voltage anymore. So this is the 170 volts here. I'll just pull this fuse and we won't even use it. It's kind of not been, and so we'll make real nice, neat little bundles. So they look really neat, and there we go. White, green, blue, yellow, brown. And these will go to the transformer, which hopefully will be here in a few days. I also ordered a speaker cabinet. Zaccaria soundboards use a 4 ohm speaker. I do have to find a volume pot. Maybe. There is a small one on the soundboard. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we will see. And then, you know, the next order of service on the electrical is going to be, let me pull a rabbit out of my hat here, is going to be I think there's a couple more there. And I don't think I don't see the solenoid one. Here we go. Here's, I believe, the solenoids. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, there we go. And so we have to make these connect to here. And some are switches, some are lights. I believe this black one is the solenoids, light switches. And so we have to get connectors. Here's a similar connector here, a bigger Molex. Same connector that's on the power supply, just longer. And we'll do the same thing. We'll crimp the wires, slide it on there. These are smaller. These are what, 0.100 they call, and these are 0.156. So yeah. And then over here we have do a couple things. One for the flipper solenoids, they're powered off of here, and a couple other things going on here. I have to and see what these are for. I forget. I'll have to look and see what these connectors go to. And the speaker connects right here off of the soundboard, a couple wires down, mount a speaker in the bottom of the cabinet. And just have to make sure you use a 4-ohm speaker and that you ground the casing. You can get home. So yeah, I mean, it's progressing. Just wanted to give you a little update, and I'll be doing a little more cabinet wiring. You know, it's basic wiring, you know, and I'll give a few little updates on my next video. But there we are. Very pleased with the displays. They are just turned out really nice. And I think they're going to work really good. Hopefully the guy that soldered them all right. I feel confident everything goes well. It went well with that. All right, so hope y'all have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to progressing on with this. I don't know. I'm thinking about black for the cabinet, painting it all black, and get some cool decals going on down here. Still haven't picked a theme yet, but it's coming. By the way, I don't have to put a TV monitor up in here, up in this area. I don't. I mean, we can do the standard light configuration with a back glass. Have a back glass made, or I even thought about making my own back glass. Wow. To have my play field repainted to my theme, have a back glass made, and play field plastics to match. It's about $3,000. It doesn't include cabinet stencils. And it doesn't include architectural design work, you know. So that's the starting price, $2,700. So yeah, I'm kicking that around. You know, I really don't want to put $4,000 into a machine that's probably only going to be worth $2,000 when I'm done with it. If that, I mean, somebody might look at this cockamamie thing. I certainly wouldn't, and say, I wouldn't give you $500 for it. I think when you see the finished product and you know where I'm going with this, you might see some value to it if you understand anything about the amount of work and the costs involved in putting together something like this. So thanks for joining in, and we will see you soon. Hey, make it a great weekend.